Well folks, we got ourselves a real treat today. A 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 302. That's right, Ford done went and brought back the Boss. And I gotta say, I ain't mad about it. This ain't just some sticker package or a fancy trim level. This thing's got some serious punch under the hood, proper handling, and just the right amount of rowdiness to make you grin like a possum in a corn crib. Now, this fella right here, well, he ain't fresh off the showroom floor. Nope, he's got a few miles on him, a little bit of road grime, and maybe a couple of questionable maintenance choices in his past. But hey, that's why we're here, to bring him back to his former glory. The Boss name ain't just for show, and this thing deserves to be running at full tilt, terrorizing back roads and scaring Camaros at every stoplight. Let's pop the hood and see what we're working with. And there it is, the heart of this beast. A 5.0-liter naturally aspirated V8, built to scream all the way up to 7,500 RPM. Ford calls this the Coyote X, and it's got some spicy upgrades over the regular Mustang GT version. We're talking forged internals, high-lift cams, a free-breathing intake, and a fancy dual-mode exhaust that lets your neighbors know exactly what bad decisions sound like at 6 a.m. This thing's pushing 525 horsepower, and if that ain't enough to wrinkle your forehead, I don't know what is. But power ain't worth a hill of beans if you can't put it down. Luckily, Ford ain't skimped on the rest of the package. The Boss gets a Trem-X 6-speed manual, none of that automatic only nonsense, and a proper limited slip differential out back with 3.91 gears. That means this thing hooks up hard and pulls like a freight train once you're in the meat of the power band. Suspension-wise, Ford slapped on some Magnaride dampers, some beefy sway bars, and a set of sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. That means this ain't just a straight-line bruiser. It'll carve corners with the best of them. And let's not forget the brakes. 6-piston Brembos up front, 4 in the back, because stopping is just as important as going fast, especially when you've got 525 horses trying to launch you into the next county. Now, let's take a look inside. Ford kept things pretty simple in here, and I appreciate that. No giant iPad glued to the dash, no 50 different drive modes, just a proper driver's car. You get some well-bolstered Recaro seats to keep your backside planted, an old-school cue ball shifter, and a dash that actually looks like it belongs in a Mustang. They even threw in some retro touches, like a Boss 302 badge on the passenger side and a 9,000 RPM tach that reminds you exactly what this engine was built for. All right, let's see if she fires up. On turns key. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That idle's got just the right amount of lope to let you know it means business. Give it a little blip. Yep, instant throttle response. And that exhaust note? Pure muscle car perfection. None of that piped-in sound nonsense. This is all real, all raw, and all glorious. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? Well, there's always a catch. This one's been, well loved. The previous owner apparently thought oil changes were optional. The clutch feels like it's one hard launch away from retirement, and the tires are about as useful as racing slicks in a rainstorm. But hey, that just means we get to do what we do best. Fix it up, make it right, and get this thing back on the road where it belongs. First order of business? Fluids. Every single one of them. Oil, coolant, brake fluid, diff fluid, you name it, we're changing it. Then we got a deal with that clutch before it turns into a $2,000 paperweight. And of course, we need some fresh rubber, because driving this thing on bald tires is like trying to ice skate in cowboy boots. But when all is said and done, this Boss 302 is gonna be a proper street brawler again. Ford really knocked it out of the park with this one. Old school muscle car soul with just enough modern tech to keep it from killing you. It's got the looks, the power, and the attitude. And that's exactly what a Mustang should be. All right, that's enough jawing. Let's grab some tools, roll up our sleeves, and get to work. This Boss 302 ain't gonna fix itself.